Good morning, everyone. It's a great honor to have the opportunity to talk about the internet and youth suicide in Japan in front of you. So I hope my presentation will contribute to your understanding of the Japanese situation about internet and suicide. This slide shows the suicide rate among men by age group from 1987 to 2011. All suicide rate increased in 1998, although the increase was more prominent among men aged 45 to 64 than in the younger generation. But as time goes on, the suicide rates of men aged 45 years or older have gradually decreased. On the other hand, that of men aged 44 years or younger have gradually increased. This slide shows the suicide method by age. Regardless of gender and age, hanging is the most common method in Japan. This is a gray area. But the suicide by gas, the orange area, were more frequent among young people. Described later, the method of generating the gas has spread. They are detailed by via the internet. So similar to other countries, since internet usage rate of young people in Japan is so high. So this slide shows the contents of my presentation. Firstly, I will talk about the charcoal burnings. There's also the side of suicide pact by the internet. The secondly, I will talk about the hydrogen sulfide, H2S poisoning. In this case, the suicide method was spread on the internet. And thirdly, suicide prevention through the internet. And lastly, I will briefly make a conclusion. This also has aspect of net suicide. Internet suicide, also known as net suicide in Japan, is a phrase which has become one of the most notorious terms to the Japanese in the times. Net suicide refers to suicide pact that are pre-arranged between strangers who meet over the internet. And this slide shows temporal development of the number of newspaper articles containing the word net suicide or mass suicide. In the March 60s, 2013, net suicide by 4 men and women has occurred. In addition, the net suicide by the 3 men and women has occurred March 70s. Then in March 80s, there were 18 newspaper reports. Or at another peak, after the 3 net suicide has occurred, there were 20 newspaper reports, and after that, next month, 5 committed suicide cases happened. In this way, there were aspects that the internet suicide was pervaded by the mass media, or we can see the power of media mix about suicide. But how much has charcoal burning suicide happened? Because ICD-10 code may not correspond to only charcoal burning suicide. So, based on data from National Police Agency in Japan, Hitosugi et al. Investigated the number of suicides by charcoal burning in 2007. They reported 8.2% of all suicides were by charcoal burning. And based on data from the vital statistics of Japan, 9.9% of reportable deaths with an X6284 code correspond to those with an X67 code in 2007. Therefore, we estimated that in 2007, about 80% of responsible deaths with an X67 code were charcoal burning suicide. We can estimate. So, the point of view, this slide shows the trend in age-adjusted suicide rate by age group in Japan, and I use the code of X67, so we can see it's nearly equal to the charcoal burning. So this, in the graphics, in males and females, aged 50 to 24 and 24 to 44, the charcoal burning epidemic led to substantial increase in overall suicide, without a decrease in other methods. In all other age groups, no such trend was observed. So in other words, in young Japanese, the charcoal burning method may have appealed to individuals who might not have chosen other highly or relatively lethal methods, and consequently led to an increase in overall suicide. I guess the relationship between internet suicide and young people is more critical than other groups. Around the same time, Internet Hotline Center was officially launched in Japan on June 4, 2006. In the case of information that will lead to illegal activities in higher probability, distribution of information itself is not illegal. So for the suicide case, the information itself is not illegal. So to the information that is contrary to public policy, which is defined in the operational guideline, the center requests the provider or the BBS administrator to delete the information so as to correspond on the basis of the contract with the users. So this slide shows that processing results of the illegal information by the Internet Hotline Center. So this orange line shows the delete request, but the gray line is complete, delete complete. So necessarily all the information not be deleted from now. Next, I'd like to move on to hydrogen sulfide poisoning. Hydrogen sulfide H2S is a highly toxic gas with a characteristic rotten egg smell, which is lost at higher concentrations. In Japan, a detailed description explaining the painless method of committed suicide by inhaling H2S after mixing readily available commercial products, this one and this one, in a sealed confined space. We called it H2S suicide, introduced on several internet websites in 2007. Information about H2S suicide spread rapidly through message boards on the internet, and cases of H2S suicide have been sensationally reported by media almost daily since January 2008. The influence of the internet and the media may have led to an increase in H2S suicide in Japan. So this graph shows the number of deaths due to H2S poisoning from 2000 to 2006 to 2011, based on information provided by the Ministry of Health, Labour and Welfare. In Japan, an increasing number of H2S suicides were evident in year 2008. The number of deaths increased significantly from 26 in 2007, this line, and to 1,027 in 2008, before gradually decreasing from 2009 to 2011. Dr. Kamijo and his colleagues conducted a multi-center retrospective study on the medical records of patients who had attempted H2S suicide in order to examine the trend and the characteristics of the suicide attempt by H2S poisoning. A total of 47 emergency facilities in Japan agreed to provide data for this study. As you see in the graph, a number of transportation to the emergency facilities dramatically increased in 2008, and it has been gradually decreased. A certain percentage of secondary disaster, this red area, the secondary disaster means those were mostly family members and friends who tried to help the patients, but in the place inhaling the gas. So the secondary disaster were evident in each year. For example, this table, the age of the first primary exposure group is 13, and the secondary exposure group is 14. Maybe the typical pattern is that the child commits suicide and coming family to help them, but get secondary exposure. We assume the media has started reframing the report of H2S suicide as sensational. Maybe because of that, important information, including danger of H2S gas as a way of helping, were missing. So it is because of the secondary exposure what happened. Dr. Chen and his colleagues investigated the effect of media coverage of suicide by hydrogen sulfide and gasoline on trending internet searches in two countries, Japan and England. They investigated search volume patterns from Google search. So as you see, in Japan, online searches for hydrogen sulfide, this red line, increased 50 times in April 2008 after the initial media report in February 2008, surpassing the search volume for suicide, this blue line. So we can see the same pattern in the United Kingdom. So the search volume, this data suggests a striking impact of media coverage of an unusual method of suicide. Internet researchers relating to that method. So several measures, suicide measures have been implemented against the internet and the media since April 2008. For example, internet or media or industry, or this slide illustrates a number of examples. Prefecture police respond to the case of suicide notice. So that's changes in the relationship between the various regions. So media, police, industry, so on. And the various regions and the internet suicide is observed in Japan from this year. Next, I want to talk about suicide prevention using the internet in Japan. This graph shows the results of consultation activities by Japan Lifeline Federation. Compared to the telephone consultation, this line, the user of the internet consultation is often young people. For some young people, the internet would be a window or an entrance for the more familiar consultation. This slide shows the cooperation with the internet provider and our center. So in cooperation with Yahoo Japan, Center for Suicide Prevention has been induced in the consultation the person who are searching for information about suicide. For example, if you have a search on keywords such as hydrogen sulfide suicide, you can see a link to Center for Suicide Prevention and a message prompting the consultation. Here, written in Japanese, in the frame separate from the list of the search results. So, and if you click the link of Center for Suicide Prevention, this page will appear. Then you click the button. Each square corresponds to the prefecture. So you can see the support information in each prefecture. This slide shows the percentage of page view of consultation to support live in the Center for Suicide Prevention website. Access 40,000 times a month to this page. Its frequency will vary in response to social events. For example, famous actors suicide what happened, or suicide measures awareness month is coming. This is another trial. Dr. Suek has proposed a more active suicide prevention method using the internet. Using the search advertising of Google, the person who searches for words related to suicide would be induced to the website. In that website, you can send an email to a counselor. this new proposal named Internet Gatekeeper is a kind of criticism of the Center for Suicide Prevention website that was mentioned so far. Dr. Sueki claiming that people with suicidal ideation or people want to commit suicide should reach the support resources more quickly. So the website or Center for Suicide Prevention, the user search for the information about the best support resources. But this system, just one click on the email sending to the counselor. Here, the demographics of the consultant. Average age is 23, so they are very young, and male and female with suicidal ideation is 65%, and committed suicide, experienced committed suicide is 11.3%. However, it is pointed out CMC, computer-mediated communication, was the mental health indicators related to suicide. So this slide shows the result of a study about that, reported recently in 2014 in Japan. Increased suicide ideation was observed in the young and middle-aged who employ the internet for suicide-related or mental health consultation-related reasons. Sorry, the method is like this. So retrospective observational longitudinal study. So data collection 3 times. So from this study, they can get the conclusion like this. So increased suicidal ideation was observed in the young and middle-aged who employ the internet for suicide-related or mental health consultation-related reasons. Not only for the bad information, but the person asking for the good information or about the helpful resources, searching for helpful resources, but the suicidal ideation was observed. Increased suicidal ideation was observed. Mental health consultation via the internet was not useful, but those who did so showed worsened depression or anxiety. Or in another study, this study pointed out communications on the internet for information not related to suicide also worsened the mental health of young people. This study hypothesized the 2 pathways. The first one is from the psychological variables effect on the internet use, or internet use effect on the psychological variables. So from this model, the process is circulating, and the person who want to know about the information, or want to have communication with others, also worsen the mental health of young people. This slide showed the usage rate of communication equipment. So you can see the personal computer's line is decreasing, and this line shows the smart home. So hardware and software that connect the user to the internet continue to change. So this is 2011, maybe 2040, the line is very near. So internet suicide measures are inevitably forced to follow the change of equipment, follow the change of hardware and software. It would go on forever. So I think we should focus on the person, focus on the hardest person, rather than the characteristics of the internet. This is a conclusion from the point of view of suicide prevention in young people. So young people are leading to suicide under the influence of the internet. We can see from the case of suicide pact on charcoal burning or learning of new method of suicide, in the case sulfide, H2S poisoning. And second, consultation via the internet worsen, unfortunately worsen the mental health indicator of young people. So, internet should not become a goal, but a window or entrance to connect the young people to suicide prevention measures outside the internet. So, consultation via the internet worsens the mental health indicators. So, it is not a goal, but a window or entrance to connect the young people to the suicide prevention. This is the last slide. So I think we should study more about the characteristics of the people associated with suicide through the internet. Thank you so much.